Getting late in the evening, sun going down, getting late in the evening, sun going down. Wouldn't have a religion, couldn't feel sometime, wouldn't have a religion, I couldn't feel sometime. If the Lord don't help me, can't stand the storm. If the Lord don't help me, oh, can't stand the storm. If you're talking about Jesus, He's a friend of mine. If you're talking about Jesus, oh, He's a friend of mine. Yeah. Yeah, God, religion, satisfied. God, religion, oh yeah, I'm satisfied. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Fire, keep on burning. Can't hold my peace. Fire, keep on burning. Oh, can't hold my peace. Yeah, yeah. If I don't wake up in the morning, everything's alright. If I don't wake up in the morning, everything, alright. Many of our great-grandparents didn't have education, couldn't read, couldn't write, but they had a testimony. Big Mama said, couldn't do no writing, but my name been signed. Couldn't do no writing, oh, my name been signed. In the Old Testament book of 2 Kings chapter 4, I'm reading verses 1 through 7. The Old Testament book of 2 Kings, chapter 4, verses 1 through 7. Now there cried a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets unto Elisha, saying, Thy servant my husband is dead, and thou knowest that thy servant did fear the Lord, and the creditor is come to take unto him my 2 sons to be bondmen. And Elisha said unto her, What shall I do for thee? Tell me, what hast thou in the house? And she said, Thine handmaid hath not anything in the house, save a pot of oil. Then he said, Go, borrow thee vessels abroad of all thy neighbors, even empty vessels. Borrow not a few. And when thou art come in, thou shalt shut the door upon thee and upon thy sons, and shalt pour out into all those vessels, and thou shalt set aside that which is full. So she went from him and shut the door upon her and upon her sons, who brought the vessels to her, and she poured out. And it came to pass, when the vessels were full, that she said unto her son, Bring me yet a vessel. And he said unto her, There is not a vessel more. And the oil stayed. Then she came and told the man of God. And he said, Go, sell the oil, and pay thy debt, and live thou and thy children of the rest. Amen. That second verse said, And she said, Thy handmaid hath not anything save a pot of oil. Another translation says, she said that I don't have nothing but a pot of oil. I want to talk on the subject, making something out of nothing. Making something out of nothing. Thank you, Urshus. Making something out of nothing. The prophet of God here spotlighted is the person and personality named Elisha. Elisha was indeed a true man of God. As we look at yet another powerful episode in his life where God used him, we can't help but see that the prophet Elisha was an humble man. And the reason why I say he was an humble man of God is because out of all the miracles and wonderful things that God did through him, he never brags and boasts about it. He never gives himself credit for all the good that God blessed him to do. He remained humble. And listen, no matter how much God bless you or use you, we ought to always stay humble. Not only was he an humble man, but he was also an honorable man. This man was one that they respected, one that they delighted in, one that had a lot of honor on him and around him. God had blessed him to be a man of honor. He was well respected by kings, queens, and potentates. Elisha was well known. People respected him when he showed up, and they respected him when he walked away, because God used him in a mighty way. Honor is something you don't have to go chasing after. If you live like God said live, and if you seek to give God glory, God will send honor looking for you. He was an honorable man. But not only was he humble and honorable, but he was a helpful man of God. As we look at his ministry, we see how Elisha was a very helpful man. He was a help. He was a blessing. It was good to have Elisha in the vicinity. It was good to have this kind of person in the neighborhood. It was good to have access to a man like Elisha. So many in our day who feel like they are great, who feel like they are important. The problem is they too important to the point of where they won't even shake your hand. You can't get to them. But Elisha was the kind of a man everybody could easily have access to him. And this man we see in the text was so humble and helpful that even when a poor widow woman was in need, he didn't think it beneath him to help her. You read in the previous chapter, we see that there were 3 kings that came together who needed Elisha's help. In the previous chapter, in the city of Jericho, the city council of Jericho came to him because the city was a good city, but the water was bad. And they came to Elisha and he told them how they could get some good water. As important as he was in the eyes of others, yet he was humble enough to help even the least among humanity. And in this 4th chapter, we see the prophet of God as he helps a woman who had some problems. When we look at the text, this woman, the record said that she was a widow woman. She had 2 sons. And she comes to the prophet Elisha saying, look, you know my husband was a servant to you and he feared God. And the record said that she said that, look, the creditor has threatened to take my 2 sons and use them for slaves to pay off the debt that my husband owes. And she said, I need you to help us. That was her problem. She tells us that death had already been to her house. Look at it. This woman's husband had been snatched away from her. She testified that he was a good man. He was a God-fearing man. But yet death showed up unexpectedly and took him away. A good family, a godly family, but yet death showed up in their house. Of all the other people in the neighborhood who didn't worship God and who didn't serve God, death showed up at this house. You know, sometimes seem like life seemingly is unfair. Sometimes it seems like we end up on the short end of the stick. Sometimes, if you look at it, sometimes it looks like the rich get richer while the poor get poorer. Looks like the wicked live a long time, but the righteous don't last too long. Are y'all praying with me? In this world, sometimes it appears that those who work the most have the least, while those who work the least have the most. Even some of them that don't work at all. Are y'all praying with me? And sometimes it seems as if life is unfair. Look at it. This woman, husband was taken away. These children, father was snatched away. So death brought problems to her house. But not only did they experience death in the house, but the text said they had debt in the house because they owed some money. and they couldn't pay it. Are y'all gonna pray with me? And listen, brothers and sisters, debt can get to you. I mean, think about it. Look at this woman's situation. Their house has already been upset by death, but now they got to deal with debt. They didn't have no insurance in that day as we know it now. There were no insurance policies to buy. And consequently, when this man died, they were not rich folk. And they were poor people, and he owed somebody. And she didn't have the money to pay. This woman in that day and time, most of the wives and women were homemakers. They were mothers who took care of the children at the house. They didn't have no companies and jobs to work on like we're doing this day and time. But the husband was the breadwinner. He was the provider and the protector of his family. And so here this woman has been left with her two sons, and they have a debt on their hands and don't have the money to pay it. You know, debt is not so bad, long as you're able to pay it. But when bills are due and don't have no money and don't know where money gonna come from, that can be a problem. So she's got debt in the house, and she has debt in the house. And consequently, this woman was depressed. You know, debt can get to you. You'd be surprised how many people are stressed out because of debt. Credit card debt, car notes, so forth. Debt. Anybody know anything about debt? It can get to you when you got too much of it. And I realize some debt we made it hard on ourselves. You see, when you get the credit card and they start charging, you gotta remember they're gonna send you a bill. Are y'all praying with me? You get all these credit cards and get them charged up, and next thing you know, you don't have enough coming in to take care of what's got to go out. It's called debt, and that stuff can get to you. It can stress you out, and many times it can depress you. This woman, she had a crisis on her hand. And then to add to that, she is now in distress because the creditor has come to her house. And he come to get his money. As I use my imagination, can you see there was a knock at the door? She answered the door, and the man said, "Look, I'm the creditor. And look, I want my money." She said, "Well, you know, my husband is dead. He died all of a sudden." "I know. And we poor folk, we don't have them." "I know. It's just me by myself now raising my son." "I know, but I want my money." He said, "A deal is a deal, and I want my money." Are y'all listening to me? And he said, "Look, if you don't pay me my money, I'm gonna take your sons and use them for slaves to pay me back." She is in distress because there's the threat of her losing her son. Are y'all with me here? This man is threatening to take her sons away. She's got a problem on her hand. But the text says that she went to the prophet Elisha, told him her situation. He said, "What do you got in the house?" She said, "I ain't got nothing but a pot of oil." He said, "I tell you what you do. Go to your neighbors and borrow some empty vessels. Borrow as many as you can get a bunch of them. Man. And when you get the empty vessels, go into your house, you and your sons, shut the door, and put that oil in those vessels. Fill each and every one up and set it aside." She did that, filled up all the vessels that she had. Went back to the man of God. She said, I did what you said. He said, well, go sell all, pay your debt, live on the rest. And the text said she did that. God worked a miracle. God delivered her and her sons out of this situation. Isn't that good? Listen, God does still work miracles. Anybody here know God is still making a way just when you need a way made. Amen. That's the provisions for the crisis. Now, as I look at this text briefly, I see, let me examine a little closer the request of this woman. When she came to Elisha, she came up on the grounds of the fact that her husband was a good man. She said, you know my husband, he was your servant, and he was a God-fearing man. The Bible described her husband as one of the sons of the prophets. He was a minister. And he died, and she comes on the fact that my husband, you know, was a good man. And I want to pause and tell you, listen, dying time is going to come. It's going to come for all of us, but you ought to live so while you're living that folk will have something good to say about you when you're gone. Amen. I mean, don't live in such a way whereby your family got to come to the church at your funeral and lie about you and everything, talking about you was a good person, you was faithful at your church when everybody know you didn't have come. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, live in such a way where folk can have something positive, something fruitful to say about your life. This woman said, you know my husband was a God-fearing man. He was a servant of yours. He served. You know what kind of man he was. And she talks about her situation. The creditor is threatening to take away my sons and enslave them to pay a debt that my husband made, and we don't have the money to pay it. She talked to him about it. Listen, sometimes whenever you got a crisis in your life, you don't need to try to handle it all by yourself. You need to talk to somebody so that you can get some help. You know, I know a lot of times we real secret and we real private, but sometimes when you in trouble, you need to go and talk to somebody. Am I right about it? Yeah, I'm glad she went and talked to somebody. You'd be surprised how many people walk around troubled in their bosom, burdened down. They have a heavy load on them, and they're trying to keep it all in. Sometimes you just need to sit down and talk to somebody. She talked to Elisha because she knew this man has been instrumental in helping others. Are you listening to me? Now you know you just can't talk to just anybody, but talk to somebody who can help you. She made her request known. I need some help. That's the request of the woman. But then secondly, I see the requirement for the woman. Notice what Elisha said. He said, what's in your house? First of all, he said, what do you want me to do? Which means that, he was willing, look, I'm willing to do whatever I can. What is it you want of me? And then he raised another question saying, well, look here. What's in your house? What's in your house? Because what she would discover was what she needed was already in her house. He said, what's in your house? Our biggest problem in America ain't in the White House. I realize The president got his way. Everybody can agree. Sometimes he can say some stuff that's unnecessary. You understand what I'm saying? You know, but our biggest trouble ain't the White House. In our schools, we got a lot of trouble. School shooting and fighting. Tragic to hear about the little girl. When there was a fight broke out, the little girl ended up dying. We got problems in our school. Am I right about it? But America's problem ain't at the schoolhouse. The church is a good place to go. It's where the people of God assemble and worship and give God praise. But America's biggest problem ain't the church. Are you listening to me? We ain't promoting no prostitution. We ain't rolling no joints at the church house. Are y'all praying with me? We're not bootlegging liquor at the church house. Am I right? Our biggest problem in America is not the church house. But I have some urgent news that I must tell you. You probably won't hear it on CNN. You won't hear it on Fox News. But let the little preacher tell you, our biggest problem is at the house. It's at the house. That's where the trouble is, at the house. Folks want to get mad, talking about reason why these kids run around here getting in trouble and doing this, got gang problems and all this. Kids so disrespectful. The church ain't doing their job. What's happening at home? What are you doing at home? It's your responsibility to raise your own children. The church is not no daycare center. If the church is supposed to raise your kids, what you supposed to do? You the parent? Our trouble is at the house. So the question is, what's in your house? What's going on in your house? You know the reason why a lot of times we can't take care of what's happening in our own house? We're too busy in somebody else's house. Deal with what's at your house. She answered by saying, I have nothing. That's what she said. She said, I have nothing. I don't have anything. And listen, let me tell you something. When you're down to the stuff called nothing, that's when God is up to something. Are y'all gonna pray with me? When you're down to nothing, God is up to something. Because God specializes with the stuff called nothing. Moses had nothing but a stick, but he led Israel out of Egypt. David had nothing but a slingshot, but he brought down Goliath. Samson had nothing but a jawbone, but he killed over 1,000 Philistines. The widow Zarephath had a handful of meat and a little oil in her cruse, but God blessed her and her son and the prophet to eat many days. The little boy had 2 sardines and 5 biscuits, but Jesus took it and fed a whole multitude. God specializes with what you call nothing. Amen. She said, oh, I don't have nothing but a pot of oil. I got a pot of oil in my, know what's in your house. Said, I got a pot of oil in my house. He said, well, listen, go borrow some empty vessels. Borrow. I want you to go borrow from your neighbors some vessels that are empty. Now, go borrow them because the thing about what you borrow, you got to return. And some folks need to learn that if you borrow something, you got to take it back. if you borrow something, it ain't yours. You just using it till it's time to return it. It's called borrow. Borrow some empty vessels. You don't need vessels that already got something in them. You need some empty vessels. Listen, God wants some empty vessels. That's what God wants. God, see, you can't get what you need from God if you come in here already full of your own stuff. Reason why some folk can't get right because they full of self-righteousness. They feel like ain't nothing wrong with them already. God wants you to be empty. He wants some empty vessels. Yes, give God some empty vessels. He said, get you some empty vessels, some vessels that need to be filled. Amen. God wants some vessels that he can fill up. Are y'all praying with me? He said, I want you to get some empty vessels. And when you get those vessels, take them in the house and shut the door. Shut the door, y'all. Shut the door. Be sure and close the door. Close it. Shut the door. Shut the door because you don't need any distractions. You don't need to get entangled up in something else where you can't take care of this business. Shut the door to guard against distractions. Shut the door so that you can fight against having some doubt. Because I don't want you to start second guessing what you're doing. I don't want you to start thinking, well, what's this going to do? No, I want to eliminate all doubts. Shut the door. Shut the door. You don't need nobody coming in your house asking y'all what y'all done. Shut the door. Shut the door to keep some discretion. Keep other folk out your business. Everybody don't need to know what's going on in your house. Shut the door. Shut the door and take that oil. Fill up those vessels. You got some oil. Everybody needs some oil. I say everybody needs some oil. Well, you may not have the best furniture in your house, but you ought to have some oil. You may not have a flat screen TV, but you ought to have some oil. You may not have a comfortable bed to sleep in. You might have a bed with a squeaking mattress. Every time you move it squeak. Even at that you ought to have some oil. Are you listening to me? Have some oil in your house. Oil is symbolic of the Spirit. Every house needs the Holy Spirit. Every church needs the Holy Spirit. You need some oil. What good is it to have plenty clothes to wear to church? Nice alligator shoes to put on your feet. A diamond to have in your rings. It ain't got no oil. What good is it to drive an expensive car and you don't have no oil? How you gonna sing effectively in the choir if you don't have no oil? You need some oil. Oil symbolizes the Spirit. Oil also is symbolic of something. Of something. Because when he asked her, what do you have? Her first answer was nothing. But then she gave a second and said, well, I do have a pot of oil. That's something. Listen, you got something. And you ought to thank God for something. Just when you think you don't have nothing, God will show you got something. And you ought to thank God for the something that you have. I ain't got to have everything you got to be thankful. I thank God for the something I have. Thank God. You got something. Everybody here got something. And this all is symbolic of the solution. What she needed was already in the house. Look at it. She didn't have to go outside the house to find the pot of oil. It was already there. Every time God needed to bless us with something, it was already there. Am I right? In Exodus 15, when Israel came to some bitter water and couldn't drink it, Moses prayed. God told him to cut down a tree, and the tree was already there. Oh, y'all listen to me. When Abraham put Isaac, his son, on the altar, at God's command, God stopped him and said, don't kill him. I know that you fear me. The Bible says Abraham looked behind him, and there was a ram caught in a thicket that he used in the place of Isaac. Where was the ram? When Abraham needed it, it was already there. Y'all ain't praying with me. When Peter needed money to pay the temple tax for himself and Jesus, when he went down to the sea and caught a fish, he found money in the fish's mouth. The question is, when did God put it there? I don't know. But one thing I do know, when Peter needed it, it was already there. When we were hell-bound on our way to a burning hell, we needed a substitute. Somebody who could pay for our sin on Calvary. Abraham couldn't do it. He couldn't substitute. Moses couldn't do it. David couldn't do it. But Jesus is the substitute. When did it happen? It didn't happen last week. It didn't happen last year. The Bible says while we were yet sinners, Christ died. It was already done. Oil was already there. So she poured it into the vessels. She filled up the vessels. I'm almost through, but listen, God wants some full vessels. Wants some vessels that's full of love, full of kindness, full of mercy, full of faith, full of goodness. God wants some full vessels. Don't be content if you're a quarter full. Don't be content by being half full. God wants you full. Are you listening to me? If you're full, that means can't nothing else get in, because you're full. Notice when she was pouring the oil, they didn't run out of oil. They ran out of vessels. She told her son, bring me another vessel. He said, Mama ain't got no more. This last one. They ran out of vessels. Still had plenty of oil. Are y'all listening? Let's put it this way. They didn't run out of oil. They ran out of vessels. God always has more than enough. You know what we need more of in Angelina County? We need more vessels. See, our responsibility, we got to go out and get some more vessels and bring them in so they get full. Are you listening to me? We need more vessels because there's not a shortage of oil. There's a shortage of vessels. Yes, there's plenty of oil. You say the vessels are full. Mama, we ain't got no more vessels. We still got all this oil. So listen, God never runs short. He never runs out. God never has a problem of inflation because he never runs short. Heaven never runs short of blessings. That's the reason why you don't have to be jealous of what somebody else got. It ain't no secret what God can do. What he's done for others, he can do it for you. There's plenty more than where that came from. Finally, Told the prophet, I done what you said. Got all this oil in the vessel. What do I do? He said, go sell all. Pay your debt. And what you have left, live on the rest. Look at it. Look what she's able to do now. Remember, when we first started out, she couldn't pay her debt. But before it's all over, she got more than enough. Look what she got now. She got more than she had at first. Is there anybody here can get happy with me when you think about what you used to have and look and see what you have now? Look what the Lord has done. I'm serious. I went to the closet this morning trying to pick out which green shoes I would put on. I'm pretty, ain't they? Pretty. Y'all like looking at my socks? Y'all see my socks? It ain't always been like that. But look what the Lord has done. Look at it. Most of us are hair by nature. Kinky. Nappy. You understand what I'm saying? We come a long way. We have come a long way. When I was a kid growing up, folks used to pick at me about my hair. Look at your hair nappy. And they was nappy. That's what bothered me. They was nappy, but they talking about how nappy mine was. You understand what I'm saying? I never forget. I was in school, and they would always talk about my hair. And my hair was nappy. I didn't have waves like my son Caleb got waves. And all that. My hair wasn't that good. You understand what I'm saying? But one summer, I went to Houston. And I was looking at the pictures of the quartet singers. And I asked my mama, say, how do you get pretty hair like that? I said, baby, you go around the corner to the barbershop and then give you a perm. I said, men can get perm. Boys can get perm. I said, yeah. I went around the corner, got me a perm, went back to school. Everybody was looking at me. They said, boy, look at you. I said, look what the Lord has done. Listen, look where you come from. Look what he's done for you. Think about it. If you ain't satisfied with yours, you get somebody else's. That's a nice, I guess, I'm sorry. The nice way to say it is a weed and a weed. Look what the Lord, look where we come from. We come. And he said, live on the rest. I'm through now. I'm putting up my son. He always give you more than you can use. He give you more air than you can breathe. Give you more ground than you can walk on. Am I right about it? Give you more food than you can eat. He'll give you more. He'll give you more. Live on it. Live on it. I made up in my mind. I'm going to live on it. I'm going to live with what God gives me. I'm going to live. Live. To somebody here, you're thinking about dying. Live. You can live. Live with what you Savior. Live. Live. He came that we could have life. Have it more abundantly. Live. Because one of these old days, we gonna die. But that's not the end. In Christ, we gonna live again. And that second time, we're not gonna die no more. We'll live forevermore. That's all I got for y'all this morning. God can make something out of nothing. Specializes in making something out of nothing. He always has done so. I want to invite you to come to Jesus today. Come to him who can make something out of nothing. He can take nobodies and make somebodies because he specializes in dealing with the stuff called nothing.